Hey everybody! Today we're going to be doing a little bit more of an in-depth view into Killing Floor. Now I did do a video on Killing Floor not too long ago, like 2 days ago now, and I talked a little bit about Killing Floor, but the music was super loud, and that on top of all the shooting and shit, you could barely fucking hear me, and I want to do something a little bit different, just like an actual review. So, first off, I'm just gonna head straight into it. First off, we're gonna talk about pricing. Pricing is $20. $20 is not real. It's not a bad price, of course, especially for all this content. I mean, you get two different kinds of objective modes, and because there's a Steam Workshop, you can download more modes. There's, for instance, a Doom mode where you can pretty much go through Doom with Doom weapons on the Killing Floor maps, and that's a lot of fun. You have a lot of maps, and none of these are down. Well, let me see. I think I downloaded. No, wait, I take that back. At least that one test map, once again, free download. I can't. I don't know. I think there's a couple of downloads in here, but you get a lot of maps without having to download anything. The difficulty can, if you're looking for a challenging game, I mean, you can see here we have beginner, normal, hard, suicidal, hell on earth. Um, as you might imagine, hell on earth is pretty fucking difficult. You have 6 different classes. You have berserker, sharpshooter, medic, support, the firebug, and demolitions. I think that's the 6 you have. You have different mutators. I have, of course, here a few weapons downloaded. You can switch to have only certain enemies at the game at any time. If you want, you can go balls to the wall and have one of the biggest, strongest enemies in the game be pretty much the only thing that spawns. A little bit something that's weird about these mutators is if you put up the Pandemonium mutator, if you put up any of the mutators, in a few rounds they will just spawn more variety. For instance, I had Clotbuster on, which just spawns like the normal zombie because I just felt like playing kind of a normal zombie game with lots of zombies. But on, I think it was the third round, it did spawn in some crawlers and various different other monsters to, I guess, expand it a little bit. And you have this for most monsters you can turn on, so you have that specific monster you want to deal with. You have sandbox, so you can set up customizable skills. You can customizable waves, and how many people are in a wave, and or how many monsters in a wave, and all that. You can have short games, so that's going to be a total of 4 rounds. You have medium games, which is 7 rounds. You have long games, which is 10 rounds. Now, technically they're each also an extra round because there's also a boss round after the initial rounds. So if you're playing short, you have the 4 rounds, and after you beat those 4 rounds, you're going to get a boss round where the Patriarch is going to come in and you have to defeat the Patriarch. So there's that. I'm not using sandbox, I'm just using normal stuff here. Let's go medium. I don't know, it shouldn't be too long. I'm just going to go, I don't want to go beginner, I don't know. I'm just going to go beginner so I can pretend to be a badass. And this has lots of great maps, and they do put a lot of effort into the maps. I will say the only thing that I think could use a little more variety is that most of the bodies that are used as decorations are pretty much the same body over and over again, with pretty much the exact same thing going on. They'll be missing eyes, and they'll have their intestines out because intestines are recognizable as ew, grossy organs. Uh, the music is pretty good in game, and if you watch the other video, you'll probably get a decent taste of the music. I have to personally say I do not like playing with the music, normally because this is a game that I like to turn on, and I like to have a podcast going in the background. So I'll be listening to, say, some of you might know Yahtzee Croshaw. He has a podcast on YouTube called Let's Drown Out, where he and his friend Gabriel just talk about games and just shoot the shit pretty much. Talk about news, kind of podcasty, and there's gameplay in the background. And I like to listen to that while I play this, or the Cracked podcast. Cracked is a American comedy website, and they do skits, and they do lots of articles. They have lots of great articles. You should check them out. I'll probably put a link in the description if you want to check them out. or I'll listen to all kinds of shit. And I like the music, but it can get a little grating at times, especially if you have the music turned up too loud. Suddenly you can't hear shit else. And I just have to completely turn off the music while I'm doing this because it was so fucking loud last time. Alright, so let's get into the game, and we'll talk about various different aspects of the actual gameplay, just besides just maps and shit. Okay, let's see. What? Oh, poor reference. Forgotten. Okay, I'm gonna go to Foundry because it's one of my favorite maps. I have to say, just before we even get into the game, I like this better than Killing Floor. One of the reasons I like this I just said I like this better than Killing Floor. I'm a freaking idiot. I like this better than Left 4 Dead. There we go. I like this better than Left 4 Dead. The reason I like this better than Left 4 Dead, at least for the most part, is that I've found that I generally have a better time in this. I have a better time with the sheer brutal combat. I have a better time when all the monsters, like when you hit them, it feels meaty, you know what I mean? Like when you shoot, even if it's just a clot, when you shoot a clot in the head, and the head explodes. Oh yeah, these are extra weapons. Like before, I just like using them. But when you shoot a clot in the head and the head explodes, you can feel the hit. When you see the bullet go into them, they don't just drop. It's like BAM! Like you can really see and feel it, and it's really visceral, and that's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, and you can hear the meaty chunks, and this is certainly a bit more brutal, I guess you could say, than Left 4 Dead. I like the fact that I like the fact that I can install basically whatever weapons I want. This is something you can kind of do in Left 4 Dead as well, but most of the time it's just reskins of a different gun. These can be actually unique guns with unique feels to them, unlike Left 4 Dead, in which case a lot of it is really just reskins, and that's not really fun. That's not as fun as having an entirely new weapon. I like the fact that if you listen to them when they're speaking, they have English accents. I like the fact that it doesn't all take place in America. I like the fact that there's lots of different player models. Oh, and something that may seem silly, but really makes me happy, is that because I have Red Orchestra, I bought the deluxe edition Red Orchestra, I also have a Russian, a WW2 Russian guy in the uniform. And I also have this guy here, who is called Herman the German, who has a Stahlhelm on, and he has the German gas mask, and he has a full uniform. He has a full German uniform. I like the fact that I can get an M43 assault. No, it's an MP43 assault rifle, or Sturmgewehr. And I like that I can have that. I like that there's Tommy guns. I like that there's a huge variety of weapons. You can see right here, just in the melee weapons, there's all kinds of stuff. You can get a claymore, you can get a big old dwarf axe, you can get a chainsaw, a scythe, a golden katana, an axe. You are covered here. I'm going to sell this G36 just so I can have this. There we go. I like the fact that there's a trader, and you can get close to the trader and just do that real quick. It's not like you have to find everything. I mean, it's really well designed for wave combat, because this clearly is wave combat. Go pull out my sword. I love being a berserker. You can level up various different classes. Like I said, I think there's 6. I don't know, because usually I just play Berserker. Usually I just play Berserker because I fucking love the Berserker class. I love being able to do this. I love this. I love being able to slice through my enemies and feel like a weird German samurai badass. So this is a lot of fun. to go through. I would say that it's also pretty easy for a beginner to get into because there's not really a whole lot that complicates this. Admittedly, even though I do love this game, it is a very simple game. Like this right here, you are basically seeing the extent of the game. At least as far as mechanics go. Oh, and throw grenades. I mean, you do also have the ability to heal, and you can heal others at 50 or 100, and you can only heal yourself at 100.
Kiss that.
So you're really encouraged to heal your teammates, and you're really encouraged to try and get your teammates to heal you as well. You can solo if you want to get into a big group and just sort of duke it out with all the monsters. You can do that as well. There's a decent variety of monsters. I mean, as you can see, there's lots of regular zombies. There's guys who will charge at you and do a big chunk of damage, but are essentially, I guess is it glass blenders is the word I'm looking for? No, I don't know if that's it. But they're in essence they'll hit you hard, but they're pretty soft. You have enemies that are just tanks that will just absorb blow after blow. You have guys that will shoot you from across the goddamn map if they can see you. You have all kinds of great stuff going on. I haven't encountered too many bugs. I mean, I like the lighting. I like a lot of this, but as you can kind of see, here's what I'm talking about. Just sort of this same body in a lot of places. Not the most interesting body. This one of my few complaints is that pretty much that, just like some of the bodies are kind of just the same over and over again. It's all the same white dude in a jumpsuit for some reason. I think if you're looking for a new horror game to add to your collection, this is a great game. You know, it's not survival. Well, no, is this survival horror? I don't know. I would like to use the technical definition if there is one of survival horror, and I don't know if this necessarily falls under it. I mean, you're not really. It's more of an action game. I don't know. I guess it's technically survival horror. I could sit here for 30 minutes trying to decide if this fits the definition of survival horror or not. Of course, it's much more difficult. It's much more difficult at first because you won't have any abilities. Oh, I forgot Commando. So no, maybe there's 7. Yeah, because there's also Commando. I'm sorry. I am so silly, I couldn't even remember how many fucking classes there were. But yeah, there's also Commando, so if you want to do Commando, go ahead and do Commando. Commando is basically a guy who deals with assault rifles. One of his abilities is that he can see a health bar above enemies. He can also see sort of the outline of like that. There's the Stalker. You can see the outline of the invisible enemies, so there's that little bonus. Berserker, you get a big boost to your melee damage. Demolitions, I think you get a big boost to your explosives. You get a big boost to your explosives. I think Firebug gives you a big boost to your fire resistance as well as using fire weapons. So if that's what you want to do. Okay, what is it? I think it's under sharpshooters now. Yes, I like this gun. I like my English rifles. I mean, you can set things to fully automatic or semi-automatic. This is a great game. I think you should check it out. If you have 20 bucks to spare and you're looking for a new horror game, new kind of survival game, this is the game I think you should do. Okay, I'm just gonna count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I completely and totally forgot about Commando. I am so sorry, Commando. But if you kind of look here, you can see I don't do much but this. I have 14 million out of the 5.5 million I needed to get to level 6, which is the top level you can get. So, if you see this on sale on Steam, or you just feel like picking it up right now, it is an excellent game. You can check out all the different classes. You can use shotguns. You can be a medic. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's a great game. Great variety in how you can play. And even though it is just basic wave mechanics, there is also an objective mode, which, as you might expect with it being objective mode, is that there are objectives that you can complete, and you can go through many storylines. And there's only a couple objective mode maps that come with the game, but you can download more. So this is an excellent game, well worth $20, well worth also purchasing if it goes on sale. So go ahead and check it out. All right, talk to you later.